Have you heard of the Konmari method? You may have heard of Marie Kondo. She is an icon when it comes to cleaning and really purging your life of all the stuff that is unnecessary, decluttering your life basically. And I thought sometimes we have so much clutter, it's more than just stuff. It goes way beyond stuff. And I just want to kind of give you something to think about when it comes to stuff, what you spend your time on, and people in your life. Sometimes we just have to declutter all of those areas. All I can tell you is since I've said no to most things, I say no to almost everything nowadays. And everything, whether it's a thing or a person or someone requesting my time, I really think about it. Is this really what I want? Is this leading up to my goals that I have for my life? Because it is only my life. It's no one else's. My life belongs to me. I give off my time to others when I feel like I really feel moved and compelled. But we have to be very careful about that because it should never be at the cost of dragging you down and costing you your own quality lifetime. We don't want that. So let's talk about people. Sometimes there are people who come in our lives, and at that time, it makes a lot of sense to spend time with those people or to do business with those people. And sometimes, just like Marie Kondo teaches, we have to assess the situation and think about, is it still really giving me joy? Or is it still useful for something in my life? And if it's neither of those, sometimes it might be a good idea just to say, well, maybe I can just let this go to where it's not part of my life anymore. I am thankful, I'm very grateful for what it has given to me in the past, but it's not giving me anything anymore, so now I'm just letting go. And I just love that idea of being grateful. Even people, even sometimes when we have to dissolve relationships, which is often very painful, I have changed my mindset a lot to where now I look back and I'm grateful. I silently or verbally thank the person for what they have added to my life in the past, but I just say, well, thank you, but I'm letting you go now very freely. I'm not trying to hold on to anything. It's good, and now we all must go separate ways. That's just the way it is sometimes. Let's talk about spending time. So sometimes, a lot of times, our time is demanded by a lot of stuff and people and things we need to do. But a lot of times these things may be urgent but not important. Urgent but not important is not a good thing. You don't want a lot of things that are urgent but not important. What you do want is to really get to the important things but that are not urgent. Important things are things that really move you forward in life, that bring you closer to your goals and to the life you always dreamed of. But those urgent things, they're like creeping up on us sometimes because we keep postponing or we keep loading up too much. And that is the biggest problem. We just load too much stuff because we can't say no or we feel bad about saying no. And so we often say yes to way too many things. And simplifying just my life by saying no to almost everything and just explaining very nicely to people, well, I think it's a good thing that you're asking me and I'm so happy that you're thinking about me. But at this time, and probably not any time, this is just not anything that I want to do or can do because this is where my priorities are. And you'll be surprised, a lot of people are very understanding of your personal priorities. For example, in my daughter's school, a lot of times they have tons of activities going on, but most of the time I tell them, I would love to volunteer, but I can't really give my time a lot. Is there something else I can do? I can bake a cake and donate. I can do something in another capacity maybe, but just spending 2 or 3 hours at this bake sale, I can't quite make it because I run a business. I have a dog and a daughter, and I'm just out and about. I'm a performing artist. My schedule just looks different than most other people's. And a lot of times people are very understanding. But be careful. When you tell people well, not right now, maybe later, they'll always keep coming back. If you know for sure it's something you actually don't ever want to do, don't leave it open-ended. Just be clear about it. Be nice but clear to say, no, this is not anything that's a priority of mine, and I hope you understand that it's not anything I want to do. It's got nothing to do with you, but in general, I made a decision that this and this is not anything I will do, but these are things that I am going to do. And I think just giving a very short explanation sometimes will really help people understand. However, sometimes you don't have to give an explanation. Sometimes you just have to say, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. And you don't even have to give a reason sometimes. You know, you don't owe people anything. You know, you don't even owe anyone in your family anything. You owe your kids. Maybe you don't even owe your kids. It's just a priority, a natural priority to want to help your children with certain things because they can't yet. And you want to nurture and you want to be there for your family. But it's not like you owe anything to anyone. What is important is that you owe it to yourself to not load up too much, because when you're not happy, your family isn't. When you are stressed, your family gets stressed. Oh my goodness. I have this happen to me all the time, to where I talk to my daughter so differently when I'm in the middle of stress, and I often have to apologize saying, I'm so sorry, that was uncalled for. You didn't do anything wrong. You just added something to what I was already dealing with, and that just made it all overflow. And I'm sorry. I didn't need to be harsh towards you, because there's nothing that you did that required me to be harsh about it. I could have just said very quietly, no, I cannot do this right now, and explain to you that I have a lot to do right now. But of course she doesn't understand, and I'm like, no, I just can't right now. Just don't do this. You know, just the tone sometimes is very important, and sometimes it's enough in a very nice tone just to explain to people, I cannot deal with this right now, or I cannot deal with this in general, and because I'm doing this or that. So decluttering your life can be so freeing in general. I believe that almost everyone in today's world is doing way too much. We are expected to have all these capacities and all these functions and do all this stuff and be all these places. It's way too much for a human body. It's like we're not made for that. We're not made to travel all over the world every single day and, like, I don't know, like be a wife, be a mother, and be perfect at it all, and be a business person, and build a house and do the yard and like all these things. It's just not anything we're made for. That's just what I believe. And so I think you're so much healthier when you just take off that stress of constantly like having this expectation of yourself that like, oh, but I want to do it all perfectly. You know what? I seem sometimes toward the outside world that I do so much and I have it all together. I don't. Really. I take a lot of time off. And it's just because I've learned to say no to almost everything. Really, literally. Any gigs that people ask me for, I'm like, nope. Only if it's fun for me, and only if it's really what I want to do. And if it's not too far away, like all these things. And people asking me, can I take lessons with you? I'm like, nope. In general, I made a decision. I will not take any more students into my studio. I'm reducing. I'm not taking any new ones. And I'm in the comfortable situation now to where financially I can pull it off. It used to not be that way. And I used to say yes to almost everything, with the result that, of course, for many years, I had so many gigs that I just gained so much experience, like with anything and everything. I played with bands, with orchestras, with jazz combos, like all kinds of crazy stuff, like dangling 20 meters up in the air singing. I did it all. I said yes to anything and everything. But these times are over now. I don't say yes to everything anymore because my health is important, de-stressing my life is important, my family is important, and actually leading my dream life is important to me right now. So maybe you want to think about it. Maybe there's something on your plate that you could totally get rid of, and it would not ruin you financially, it would not ruin any relationships. Just think about it. Thank you so much for watching the video today. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe if you have not already for more motivation and inspiration. Have a most wonderful day, be blessed, and always dream big. Bye.